How did you hire, promote, and reward in a way that honored the culture you were trying to sustain?
I don't think that I was particularly effective in making sure that the Arbinger material and the principles made its way all the way out into that process of hiring, for example. What I did find is that in many respects, I didn't have to do it. People would come and they would talk to me, or I would find out accidentally that people who had been exposed to the material had found ways to work it into job interviews, had found ways to work it into their interview processes and how they talk to people about potential job promotions and other kinds of things like that. So they didn't need a prescriptive list of how to do this. They just knew that was the right thing to do. So when I heard about that, I thought, well, wow, that's fantastic. I didn't have anything to do with it, but people found a way to make use of that as best they could. So that was one. That's like a weak answer to the question because I don't have the strongest possible answer. I think in our evolution of the material, we would have gotten to that in a lot more deliberate and decisive way over time as we rolled out into that process. The one thing we did do that was specific and intentional was we realized the importance of this material in our culture, and we did. After we've been doing this a couple of years, I forget exactly how long it was. We decided to make the basic Arbinger material, the basic workshop, a required part of our new employee orientation program. So, and it was a heck of a lot more fun than filling out benefits paperwork and other kinds of stuff like that. I'll tell you that. But sometime within the first few months, after a new employee came on board, they were scheduled to come to the 2-day workshop. And so that just became part of the process of joining public debt. And as we talked about that, we just didn't decide to do that, with a snap of the fingers. We thought, well, is this a good thing to do? Is this meaningful? Is it the right thing to do? Ultimately, we concluded that we had to do it because if we're trying to be the kind of organization that we're trying to be, if we're trying to be an organization where these values, principles, and organizational culture and our way of being and our boxness, if you will, if these things are important to us and that's who we want to be, it's not a burden to place on new employees to expose them to this. It's actually our obligation to make sure that they understand the kind of organization that they've joined and that we want them to be a part of. They need all the benefits that they need all the help that we can get. We all need all the help we can get to succeed in meeting those expectations, which was the original distant goal of the values framework when it started.
That's great.